Hi, Hippie Trev here, and welcome to my channel. Hope you get something out of it. Morning world, Hippie Trev here. Wow, my camera's working. The one that decided to jump off the bike yesterday at about 75 mile an hour and do a few rolls down the road. I'm so glad I actually pulled up, went back and looked for it, and I was just absolutely stoked to find it, and it was still actually recording at the time. Picked it up and I looked at the back and there was a bit of a yellow dot there indicating there was something not quite right with it. According to the battery, well, I've charged up my GoPro battery, stuck it in, and bloody hell, the camera still works. So I'm glad I walked all that way back to get it. I walked about, probably walked a good half a K back to where it come off the bike, and it literally, I saw it in the mirror just literally rolling down the road. So yeah, so I had a good ride yesterday, and very happy I got my camera back. Like, these are like $300-400 replacements, and the case that it was in, they're sort of like that, but they have another thing on the bottom that you put your squawk box in. So if it hadn't been in a case, I reckon if it hadn't been in the hard case that it was in, I reckon it just would have disintegrated and smashed to pieces. So I was pretty bloody lucky, and just lucky I found it. I did see it roll, like it sort of rolled in a straight line instead of bouncing off into the bush. It sort of just rolled in a straight line. So pretty happy about that. What I'm also happy about, a letter today that was arrived, opened. Now the letter came from the States. I'll tell you who in a minute. And then I've got a notice saying from Border Force there was nothing found in the letter. But someone I ascribe to over in the States, a young girl, she calls herself Red Rider. She's just a young girl, probably in her early 20s at best. She's built her own bobber, and she's got a couple other bikes on the go, and yeah, she's just amazing. And her and her old man do a lot of stuff. So anyway, I sent her a sticker over quite a long time ago, and got a handwritten note from her, which was pretty cool. And she sent me 2 Red Rider stickers. So how cool is that? So yeah, when the envelope, Sandy handed me, my tenant Sandy handed me the mail and said, "Oh, Trev, it's been open." I said, "Oh yeah, yep. I understand from the States they do that." So yeah, there was that was open, and with a letter from Border Patrol saying there was nothing in there that shouldn't have been in there. So anyway, Red Rider over in the States, thanks for your sticker, mate, and thanks for the handwritten note. I really appreciate that. So anyway, and check her out, Red Rider. She's well worth the watch, and she's an amazing young chick, and she rides and builds her own Harleys. So that's pretty bloody impressive. So anyway, and that has to go on the back of the boat. So that's going to go on the back of the boat here somewhere. So I don't watch this prick anymore. He's just an arsehole. I've ditched her 2 wheels because she sold out. I still love Doodle on a motorcycle, Nonus Biker USA, Saddle Tramp, still watch them. Our mate Wayne up in Bundy, yeah mate, I might come and grab that starter off you got up there. And also my mate riding on Ruby over in the States. So I think we'll end up putting Red Rider right about there. I'll do that in a minute when I put the camera down. So there we go. Red Rider, you've made it to the back of the boat window, along with all my other stickers. Welcome aboard, Red. Rightio, I'm going to get in the shed. I've got to start a motor to rebuild today. That'll be another video. I'm going to pull the solenoid apart, unsolder it, and try and fix it the best I can. The other thing I'd like to say about yesterday on the bike ride, I'm so glad I didn't have the JC mic attached to it. I don't use the JC mic, which is actually, they're a Rode mic. See that? Rode, that's the company who makes it. I call them the JC mic because JC sent them to me, and I absolutely love this. It's hands-free mics, it's wonderful. I use me cord mics on the bike because this doesn't actually quite sit up in the helmet properly, and every time I take my helmet off it tends to like fall on the ground and so forth. So I'm so glad I didn't have this microphone set up attached to the camera yesterday, because that would have been completely destroyed. It would have flown off absolutely everywhere. And it's a $200-300 mic setup that I never would have seen again. I certainly wouldn't be able to buy it again myself. So I'm so glad I don't use the JC mic on the bike. I just use me corded mics. So and I do have to find a better way of fixing the camera onto the bike. So if they do break off, because obviously this is going to happen again, I do have to find a way of securing them to the bike. Someone said like a bit of fishing line or something, so if they break off, at least they can just sort of dangle around and not go too far. So I'm definitely going to have to look into that as well, having a secure on the bike, so even if the brackets break off, the camera doesn't go bouncing down the road like it did yesterday. So, yeah, everyone's, I had a pretty bad day yesterday. Well, I was pretty pissed off with the car doing what it is, but it was my fault. Now, what people also don't understand is this is the second time this one broke. The first one I broke about 2 years ago, and I was over at a friend's place, and it was on, I think I was on full left lock, I'm not sure, and I come up over a bump, and she sandwiched and snapped and done crashed this and done the same thing. The only thing I can think of the other day was I was coming out the driveway, and I've got a big bump on my curb. I don't have the nice slope, and I did end up, I think I was actually on full right down lock. I don't remember hearing the crunch, and I don't remember how it happened. I drove down the street and got home. It didn't happen down the street. I don't know where it actually happened. Someone suggested I should be welding in bump stops and stuff like that. I probably should. I'm thinking maybe if I can just even make some sort of shield so as it comes up it just can't do this again. And with the other solenoid, when I put the starter into the earth down, now what I think's happened, I'll try to explain. So they get soldered on here and they get soldered on here, and what it is there's a couple of wires that come up from the inside. You can't see it. In there's two wires on the inside. Now they're fully insulated. They're fully insulated. Now when I done the other solenoid, I'll stop the starter, this one here, these wires were pretty much stripped bare. I put some heat shrink over them and I tried to secure them, but I think what's happened is the two wires that I soldered on, one there and one there that I soldered on into place, these two wires, I think what's happened is where they come up, they're shorted out against here. And I also think I put this cap on back to front, so I'm going to have to really be careful when I go about it. So my plan for today is I'm going to unsolder this one, the one that's shorted out, and check out on the inside. And then I'm going to unsolder the broken one and then try and resolder this cap onto that and see if I can get the starter working. Also, a couple of people said when I put when I put the high torque in there and it just was clicking. Someone said, battery, no. Anyway, I think that starter motor, when I hooked the lead on and yesterday and it just fizzed and carried on, I think it done a bit of damage to my battery. So I put a charger on it yesterday. It didn't get fully charged till very late last night. And I put the multimeter on there, and with the charger on it was 14 volts, and with the charger off it was about 13. So I'm going to go and check that shortly, but I think you might have been right, because the circle in there that's supposed to be green with the red dot was actually white with the red dot, which means the battery needed fully charging. So somehow when I connected that starter on the ground I've got here, that it's shorted out, I believe that, I think what happened is it just almost killed the battery on the spot. So I've had the battery's been on charge all night. It's good to go. I don't want to put the high torque in there, but what I might do is, like someone said, bench test it. I've got my jumpers out so I can bench test it and make sure it does spin and work. I could bolt that in and see if it works now the battery's fully charged. I don't know if I want to climb under there and do that. I think my main priority first is try and fix this starter motor, the one I've got, undo the solenoid and solder it back on and just try and make this one work. My mate Wayne up in Bundy, he said he's got a starter up there I can probably rob for parts, so well, I could be on the bike in the next day or two heading up there. And also I've got ink happening on Monday. I haven't got much room, but I'm having another tattoo. I'm going to have another tattoo put in there. And I'm not going to tell you anything about it until you see it. So that's happening 10 o'clock Monday morning. So anyway, well, I'm going to try and get to work. So I'll catch you later. And as always, stay safe, keep your knees and debris, and I'll catch you later. Bye.